Hey friends, welcome back to the Radical Radiance podcast. I am your host, Rebecca George, and I am so excited to share today's conversation with you as we chat with my dear friend, Heidi Parton. She was on the show about a year ago, and we have so much to catch up on that I felt like it was necessary to do a live podcast from Camp for Creatives 2025. It was so much fun. We hosted this on the opening night of camp. If you don't know about Camp for Creatives, I host a retreat every year for fellow writers, speakers, business owners, creatives to come together in the Smokies and learn from one another. It's such a sweet time. But we hosted Heidi on the opening night and had a wonderful conversation about her new album, Reflections, her life growing up in the Parton family, the creativity that comes along with songwriting and performing and all the amazing work that she does. And it was just a conversation you didn't want to miss. And so we wanted to make sure we recorded it for you so that we could air it here on the show. And so I'm so excited to reintroduce you to one of my best friends, who also happens to be Dolly Parton's niece and an incredible, incredible woman of God. I cannot wait for you to learn from her and get to know her better in this episode. So help me welcome our friend Heidi Parton to the show.
All right, everybody. Go ahead and get started. So, some of you that know me well know I have lived here most of my life, apart from the 3.5 years I lived in Mississippi. And this is home to me. So I love introducing people to East Tennessee and the Smoky Mountains and everything that comes along with that. And so I thought it would be super fun to start off camp in a way we've never done this before. We're going to do a live podcast tonight. How fun is that? So I want to introduce you to a friend of mine. So if you have not already figured it out, you are in Dolly country right now. And about 1.5 years ago, I met a sweet friend. Her name is Heidi. She performs at Dollywood. And I'd seen her show many times and just thought the world of her. One of those people, you see her perform and you think like, gosh, I want to know her. I want to be her friend. And so in true podcaster form, I cold DM'd her on Instagram and asked her to come on my podcast. And she did. She said yes. And we had the best time and struck up a friendship. And it has been the sweetest thing for me. And I'm so grateful for her presence in my life and all that I learned from her. And she's so creative and just, y'all are going to enjoy this conversation. I'm so excited. So, neglected to also tell you, she is Dolly Parton's niece. So Heidi Parton is who we're going to be talking with tonight. And so I'm so excited to introduce you to my friend Heidi. So I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this.
Me too. So welcome to the Radical Radiance podcast, everybody listening later. We'll air this in October, which will be so fun, so you can go back and listen. But friend,
Yes.
it has been a while since you've been on the show.
Yes.
So we met last, summer.
That's what I told Katie. I was like, we've been friends for almost 2 years now? That blows my mind.
I know. And so much life has happened.
Yes.
Since you came on the podcast, so I'm so excited to get to catch up with you, with my people.
Yeah.
So earlier this summer, you had an album come out.
Yes,
that
my
we
second studio
talked about.
album, full-length album.
Yes. Which,
13 songs.
I know.
Oh, not 13. Was it 13? 11? It was a lot.
It was a lot.
It was a whole lot.
It was a lot. It's awesome. It's called Reflections.
Yes.
You wrote some of the songs.
Yep.
Your Aunt Granny, Dolly, is on one of the songs. Your dad wrote some of them.
Yep.
So tell us about it. Tell us about Reflections.
So I got the opportunity to do the album back about 2 years ago, and I knew when I was going to do it, I had to do some songs that my dad had written in the 90s. He had a group called Honey Creek, and the songs sat on the shelf since the 90s. Nobody's ever heard them. And so when I had the opportunity, I was like, I have to do this. But naming it was even harder. I was like, what am I going to name this CD? And I thought, and I was like, well, I'm really reflecting on my childhood and who I am as an artist now, because I've changed so much, as one does when they get a little older. And I was like, Reflections is perfect. So when I called my Aunt Dolly, because she was like, I really want you to do an album, and I want you to sit down and really think about what all you want to put on this. And I was like, okay. So I messaged her, and I was like, what do you think about Reflections? She goes, that's perfect. I have just the song. And I was like,
So did
Do
you know
you?
about that song before
No,
this conversation?
I had never heard
Okay.
that song.
Okay.
It had never been released. She had actually recorded it for an album she did called, I think it was Hungry Again,
Okay.
which was a phenomenal album. And it was just a little too Americana folk for the album. And she was like, listen to it. If you love it, it's yours. I was like, okay. So I listened to it. It was perfect, but she was like, I need you to put your spin on it, though. I was like, okay. So
What do you do when the queen tells you to put a spin
You do
on her
it.
song? You do it.
You absolutely do it. And when you play it for her, she goes, that's better than mine. And I was like,
That's awesome.
thanks. I tried. I didn't want to embarrass you on your own song. But we did try to add a little 90s flair to it, so we put a saxophone on it, which turned out great. And it's actually one of the bigger songs on the album. People really, really love it. But when I heard it, I was like, it's so true. And I was like, Reflections, this is great. I mean, who can go, hey, Granny, Aunt Dolly, can you give me my title track song? And they go, absolutely, here you go. So I got really, really fortunate with that.
She had already written the song that you wanted to title it. Like that.
Just
I didn't know
perfect.
that, but that
It's
surprises me
perfect.
not one bit.
Yeah.
So that's super awesome. So we being some of you in this room who've been to Dollywood with me and seen your show, which
Yeah.
we'll get to do on Saturday for those of you who are going to Dollywood, which will be so fun.
Just let me know what time and I'll save you all seats.
Amazing.
Give you the-
She's great at that.
the
I love
treatment.
that. I love the treatment. So we have heard The Gift,
Yes.
which you wrote just after your dad passed.
Yes.
Right? That was the first song you wrote, if my memory corrects
It's the
me.
first song I ever wrote.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't just the first one after him passing. It was the first song I had ever put pen to paper on.
Yeah. So what was that process of discovery of the song for the first time like for you? And then you've had the opportunity to share it with so many people.
It was
What's that
intense.
been like?
It was
Yeah.
very intense because the gentleman I wrote it with was my dad's best friend. And he had told me for years, you have to write with Jimmy, you have to write with Jimmy. We lovingly call him Love You Babe. That's the story for another time. And so I went over to the house just after Dad passed away. I was like, I have this idea. Can we do it? And he's like, yeah, sure. But it turned into us sitting in the floor for 45 minutes and crying. And then the song came to fruition. But then it sat on a shelf for a few years.
Yeah.
Because it just wasn't the right tempo. The placement wasn't right on a few things. And then when we were told that we would be doing the show, Jimmy and I kind of looked at each other and both went, I wonder if they'll let us do the closing song if we wrote it. And he goes, I don't know, ask them. So I asked and I was like, hey, we have this great song that nobody's ever heard. I wrote it about Dad and the family. I think it's perfect for this situation. And they were like, absolutely, we'd love to hear it. And we got in the studio, recorded it for the album, and we're like, hey, this is it. And they all sat in the audience and cried the first viewing of it. They were like, we weren't expecting that. I was like, that makes two of us.
That's
So,
awesome.
but it's really beautiful because I've had people come up to me that I've never met, people that aren't even musical families will say, that song means so much to me because it talks about family. It's very much an anthem for the family life.
Yeah.
So I'm very proud and very honored that so many people love it. And my Aunt Dolly was like, I have to do the song with you. I'm like, yeah, you do.
I love the version that you do in the show.
Yes.
It's awesome. So.
Yeah, it's a shorter version.
Yeah.
So if you get the album or you listen to it on Spotify, you will learn that is a good bit longer because how do you squeeze so many decades of musical legacy into 3 minutes?
Yeah.
We squeezed it into 6.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think one of my favorite Dollywood memories, so again, I've lived here my whole life, definition of a core memory for Rebecca George is Dollywood. And this year I had the opportunity to come to Media Day before Dollywood opened to the public. And I remember where I was standing in the park when you were like, hey, by the way, you should probably come to my last show. You should probably try to make it to my last show.
I'll save you seats.
I'll save you
at
seats
my last show.
I can't tell you why, but just show up. And so Dustin and I and Carol was with us, went to her last show of the day, and Aunt Granny was there.
I was going to say Dustin's face was my favorite part. He was like, oh, got it. I was like, thank you, Dustin.
Yeah, and so Dolly came out and said a few words and said how proud she was of you and came and sat out in the audience. And she was about from me to you, Lisa, from us in the audience. And what I will not ever forget
Is how good she smells.
I wasn't close enough to her to smell
I was going to
her.
say, you usually can smell her. She smells fantastic.
I have heard that.
Yeah.
But watching her watch you.
Yeah, I can't look at her when I'm performing. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, was
great.
Was
Okay.
one of the most precious memories for me. Because, I mean, she sat there and during, like, the tribute section, when y'all are singing Two Doors Down, she's just, like, jamming in her seat to her own song that her niece is singing. And you're like, what kind of alternate universe am I in watching Dolly Parton watch my friend perform her own songs? Like, it was just the coolest.
I love it because, like, she doesn't ever get to go and see shows because she's always in them. So I think it's exciting for her. She's like, oh, I get to sit and listen to music that I like. I may have written half of them, but I like that song too.
Yeah, I love that. So what has this year, this launch of Reflections, taught you as an artist? Like, what have you learned about?
That's actually a really deep question because I've been going through a lot of stuff, like just personally, emotionally, trying to figure out who I am as an artist. It's like you think, oh, here's your album. Everything's great. And then you go, wait a minute. This is a lot. Like, for the dream that you have your whole entire life to be like, here, you go, whoa, that's intense. Like, nobody tells you how intense that moment is going to be and how you will really reflect and also go, oh, this is what I want, I think. No, it is. No, is it? Like, there's a lot of that, and nobody warns you about that moment of realization of your dream coming true. Like, no matter how hard you work or how little you work, having that come to fruition is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot. So that gives me chills just thinking about it. It's been very intense for me. So, but I had a realization the other day, and I was like, okay, this is good. Because I hadn't felt very creative recently. It had been very intense for me. And I was in the shower and I was like, man, I haven't had a good idea in forever. I got to come up with something. And I was like, ooh, I have an idea for a song. There it is. I literally was one of those where you go, oh, thank God I haven't completely lost it. I've lost everything else, but I hadn't lost that completely. It's still there. It's just very deep. So it has definitely, I chose the right title for the album when I chose Reflections because this year has been the epitome of reflecting and realization.
Yeah.
And acceptance.
Yeah.
Of a lot of things and the gratitude that you feel.
Yeah.
So it's a powerful feeling and really, truly nobody warns you about that.
Yeah.
They don't.
I love that. Well, speaking of gratitude and just the legacy of your career, you've been performing at Dollywood since you were 4, this many.
Yep.
So talk to us about the journey to Heidi Parton's Kin and Friends.
Long.
Right? That was long, but
I'll be 40 on my birthday. It's been long.
That was what year that Kin and Friends started?
We started in 2024.
Yeah. Okay.
So we've done a lot of shows in between there, whether it was with my dad or just with other people. And right now it's with my cousin and some other friends, Jimmy, that wrote the song with me and stuff.
Entire cast is just like lights out.
We're a mess.
Incredible.
We are a total mess. If only
a fun mess.
people knew what we did backstage, we were a disaster.
But what has
so much fun,
that journey from like, oh, this place has been my home stage since I could talk and read.
Yeah.
To like my name's on a billboard outside the theater. Like what was that like for you?
Well, billboard was fun.
Well, sure.
I was like, well, that's a lot of Heidi. Wow. Because my friend Katie took me, because I was like, I don't know where these billboards are. I think there were like 4 or 5, just kind of scattered out throughout the state. She's like, there's one right in front of CVS. I was like, okay. So we went and I was like, oh, it's the tallest I've ever been in my life. That was really cool though. It was really very special and very unexpected to do that. But yeah, this journey has been interesting.
Yeah.
It's very intricate. Learning to find out who you are. That my Aunt Dolly says it perfectly. Find out who you are and do it on purpose.
Yeah.
That is the God's honest truth, and it's a very hard journey. Especially if you do come from a family like myself, there are a lot of expectations as a Parton. You have to look a certain way. You got to sing a certain way. So really kind of sifting through all that and going, okay, that's who Heidi is. But I'm still figuring out who she is. But it's been good, but long. But the fact that I started out when I was 4 years old still kind of baffles my mind. Yeah. And most people look at me like I'm lying. When I say that, I'm like, yeah, I've been doing this since I was 4. They're like, no, you haven't. I'm like, no, really, I have. Yeah. I learned the entire show, dance moves and all, and did it. And I was like, guess what? You're stuck with me, Dad. But it was really fun. I think my favorite part of the journey was getting to do it with my dad. Yeah. He was such a great showman, and he was such a great songwriter and such a great father. And learning from him has been really great. And I'll look at videos and I'll go, wow, he did teach me a lot. Like I learned a lot from my Aunt Dolly. She's an incredible entertainer, as we all know, singer, songwriter, human, period. But Dad really taught me everything I know about being the front person. So that's been a lot of fun to step into those shoes. Because when he passed away, I couldn't step into those shoes. I couldn't even get in my own shoes. Yeah. So being able to recover from that grief and step into a role that I was absolutely meant for and have worked for. I do not like a handout. A lot of people will probably assume that I do. I like to work. I have a very good work ethic.
One of
thanks
the
to my
hardest
dad.
working women that I know.
My dad instilled a good work ethic in me, and I'm very grateful for that. So whatever I get, I'm very grateful for. And it was just really cool to step into a role that he helped me learn to do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I remember we were having coffee one time and talking about him, and I looked at you and I said, like, man, he just seems like such a cool dude.
Oh yeah, he was. Cool.
I wish I could have met him. And as soon as I said that, I barely finished my statement, and you said, I mean, you're looking at him.
You're looking at him.
Yeah.
I've noticed the older I've gotten, the more I am like him. My hair is not quite as fabulous.
He had great hair.
The greatest hair. I'm like, what's it like to be God's favorite? He literally had a head full of hair down to his waist, and it was just curls. Even when he passed away, he had 4 different rounds of chemotherapy and did not lose a single strand. None of it. It was gray. It had gone fully gray, but he did not lose a single strand of it. I'm like, you really are God's favorite. Okay.
Yeah, that's so fun.
So yeah, he's a lot of fun.
When you're performing and thinking back on his legacy, what part of Randy, Dolly's brother, by the way, I think we said that.
Yes. Yeah. He was number 8 in the lineup.
Yeah. 8 of 12.
Yeah.
Yep. What part of him do you carry with you into this new chapter as you're performing?
My confidence.
Yeah.
He was very confident. Like, he had this presence. He wasn't cocky. He wasn't conceited. He was a man's man if there ever was one. Like, he walked in the room and you were like, oh, that man just walked in. He's a lot like Dustin in that way. Yeah. He walks with a just this really great air about him, but you know he's there.
Yeah.
And it's just, you feel comfortable. Like when you were around him, you felt comfortable. You felt welcome as well. So that's, I hope I carry that with me, because that was a very powerful energy that he possessed.
Yeah, totally. I love that. As you think about the last few years of Ken and Friends, and even your whole career, is there a person or a story or a memory that helps you remember why you do what you do? We were having this conversation the other day.
Yeah.
She was like, man, it's been a year for both of us. I launched a book, you launched an album, like, where are we? How are we really? And I said, Heidi, y'all opened in mid-March. You've been performing 5 days a week, nonstop, all year long. Yeah. And you launched an album. And. So what reminds you of why you do what you do?
That's actually kind of funny you ask that, because I had that moment where I was like, why do I do this? Because you know when you get tired, you're like, what am I doing this for? And it was the smallest thing, but it was the most selfless, kind gesture. And it was just so, to anybody else, it wouldn't have meant much. But I was coming into the park, and one of the ushers that actually plays Santa at Christmas stopped me, and he was like, I have something for you. And I was like, you do? And he's like, yeah, so people have the brochures and stuff, and there's a picture of me on the brochure, and they'll just scatter them around the park throughout the day and just leave them. And it's like, well, that's great, just litter, okay? So, but he was like, there's this really great picture of you. He goes, and I thought, wow, that would be great to give Heidi so she can give people her autograph if they don't have something on them. This man took some 300 brochures and baseball card size cut it, like so strategically, and had this plastic box that he gave me, and he was like, I just thought it'd be really great to give out to people that needed it. And I was so stunned, and I was like, this man thought enough of me to do that. Anybody else would be like, that's weird. I thought it was so sweet.
That's so
because I knew that took him forever.
Yeah.
Because they were perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect. And somebody came up the other day and were like, we'd love an autograph. We don't have anything. I was like, I do.
I got just the thing.
I got something for you. And it was just so sweet.
Yeah.
Just so sweet. And I have yet to get over it.
Yeah.
And I was like, who thought of that?
Yeah.
And then I walked back out because he had one for himself that he wanted me to sign, so I went and signed it. And I brought it out, and he was talking to some kids, and they just loved him. I was like, what? He was just such a sweet man.
That's awesome. I think about that a lot when I watch your show, because I love just like the energy level that you all have, and your vocals are so tight, and it's such a good show. But I always think, like, especially if I'm at the last show of the day, gosh, she's done this 3 other times today. Like, how in the world do you keep that energy level up? Yeah. That has to be hard, like day in and day out, right?
It can be.
Like,
it absolutely can be. But it's just like him. I have no idea what I did to him or for him to think that much of me. But seeing the smiles on people's faces, I'm touching their lives in some way that I will never quite understand. Yeah. Because you don't know what people are going through, what they're bringing with them, what they left out in the car when they came in just to have a little bit of fun with their family. And it's like, I've changed their life in some way, even for a moment.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it best.
Yeah.
It makes it fun. It makes it sweet. It makes it personable.
Yeah.
And kind of life-changing even for me, not to sound like needy or anything, but it's like they do something for me too. It's like I give them my all, but they give me something in return.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's so fun. I remember when we talked about reflections. Okay, first of all, that wind.
It's a nice breeze.
It just shifted, didn't it? Man, wow. Okay, we're going to survive. I remember talking about reflections before it came out.
Yeah.
And something we talk about a lot with books is like, who's your target audience? And who are you? You know, those kinds of things. So I remember us sitting down over coffee and I said, like, you know, who's this for? And I remember you saying, like, man, anybody who needs it, anybody that wants to listen. So, like, as people have reacted to it or been a part of the show, like, what has their response to that been like for you? What's that felt like? What have you seen?
A lot. It kind of goes back to the gift.
Yeah.
Where people have heard it on the album or they've seen it in the show and it has touched them. And I can't tell you how many times I've looked out into the audience when I've done that song and people are crying. And I'm like, nope, can't do it. Nope. Can't look at you. Sorry.
Some days don't you not wear your contacts so that
I
you can't
deliberately
see people?
do not wear my contacts on stage. I can see just enough to get out and be okay and know that there are people in the audience. But I can't see that they're sobbing uncontrollably.
Yeah.
And because I wouldn't make it through it.
Yeah.
Because I'm big softy. I'm pretty tough, but I'm a little soft. So, but to see somebody crying, I'm like, I'm glad you loved the song. Sorry. Can't look at you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I love that song so much.
Yeah.
So we talked about that this does happen a minute ago. The wells run dry. I feel like, where did my creativity go? Types of thing. What do you do about other careers, right? If a surgeon just isn't feeling like going in and performing brain surgery tomorrow, like he still does that, right? So like as creatives and as a creative, how do you stay motivated and move forward in that when like your well just feels really dry? Are there things that help you?
I really like movies. So I'll go and watch a movie with maybe an actor that I'm really drawn to. And I'll go and look up their story and see if they ever had a moment where they struggled. For instance, I was watching something the other day, and it was the comedian Jim Carrey, and he had gone through a really hard time, but he still kept going. So it's like, it's nice to know that there are other humans out there that struggle, and they're profound artists that you're like, oh man, they've never been, that they're just doing great. And it's like, no, everybody has their times and their moments where they question a little bit of everything. So that kind of brings me back to reality. And you actually went and saw the show as well for your birthday.
I did.
My Aunt Dolly's musical.
Bring that up. Yeah.
And she and I are a lot alike in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And if I'm struggling, I'll kind of revert back to her because she's been doing this for what, 70 years now? So it's like, she's gone through a time or 10, but she still keeps going. She still finds her faith. She still finds her footing, and she goes on to the next step. And it's like, okay, I can do this. I just needed a moment to wallow in my own self-pity, but I'm good now. So, but yeah.
Yeah. I remember leaving the theater that night when we saw the musical, and I felt like the best way I can maybe explain it is, growing up here and thinking the world of your aunt, like, I know a lot about her life.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like somebody had handed me a coloring book of facts about your aunt throughout my life, and that's what I had when I walked into that musical. And I feel like I walked out of that musical with this, like, gorgeous painting.
Yeah.
Right? Because I knew she met Carl Dean at the Wishy Washy when she moved to Nashville, right? Like, I knew some of those stories, but the look on her face or the way she sang a certain song,
or that he moved her to California.
Yeah.
And left her there so she could follow her dreams. And he was like, will you and your career marry me? I'm like, you are a smart man. Smart man.
Yeah. And the Porter Wagner days, and like so much of her life that I knew about, but I didn't know. And I think it made someone who can feel like such, and she is a legend and a star, feel human. And like, well done.
Yeah.
Like, it was so good. So what was that
probably
like for you to see?
The same way.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. So my husband was sitting next to me, and the scenes with her and my Uncle Carl, or her in scenes with her best friend Judy, like, I knew her career and stuff like that, but the personal stuff, like the behind the scenes stuff with people, or what we call booting and stuff, those really hit home and really hit hard.
Yeah.
Because I grew up with them.
Yeah.
And to see her relationship with them from the beginning was really incredible, because I have so many great memories with Judy.
Yeah.
She was so much fun. And she would take us to do stuff if Granny was working or something. And she's like, all right, kids, let's go. And we got along so good. And just to see kind of her personality when she was in her youth.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then to see my Aunt Dolly's relationship with Carl was very eye-opening to what Aaron and I might go through in our relationship as my career progresses.
Sure.
And that it can stand the test of time, and it can withstand the storms if you're willing to bend with it.
Yeah.
So that was really sweet. But I literally sat there, I was crying, and Aaron was like, I was like, honey, I'm dying over here. This is a lot. But it was just really sweet. I loved those moments. Yeah. And I sent her a card telling her how much I loved those moments.
Oh, it was precious.
It was incredible.
The opening scene, I was really batting 1,000. I was weeping in the opening scene. And Dustin's beside me, and he just very gently grabs a handkerchief out of his pocket and just passes it over. So it was premeditated. Like,
he knew.
She's just going to cry through this entire thing. I think my favorite moment in the whole play was when I told you this.
Mm-hmm.
She was sitting on the top steps of the Wishy Washy where she met Carl Dean late one night.
And wrote Tennessee Mountain Home.
And she wrote Tennessee Mountain Home. And what the scene does is, it's not like, she just, lights come up and she plays the song. She's writing the song.
Yeah, actively writing.
In the scene. And so you see her walk through, like, sitting on the front porch on a summer afternoon in a...
kind of chair?
In a straight back chair on two legs. And so she works through kind of the whole thing. And again, this is home to me. And so that is one of my favorite songs of hers. And so the fact that she let us into that kind of moment was just really precious to me.
And I think that's what she wanted to do, was really let people into her as just Dolly.
Yeah.
Not so much Dolly Parton, but Dolly.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
So good. So go see it in New York. If you didn't make it to Nashville,
I'm so excited.
it's incredible.
We're going to New York.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. That's when does it start?
I
in
have
New
no
York?
idea, but we're going to go.
We're gonna go. Great.
No idea.
Great.
We're going, though.
I love it. So, as you kind of reflect on this year, what's something that you wish more people knew about, like, the creative life or the life of an artist, that as you reflect back?
That it's not as easy as everybody thinks it is.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of energy and a lot of heart.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of you to be creative. It's not just something that you go and do it every day, a 9 to 5. No discredit to people that work a 9 to 5. It takes everybody to make the world go round. But it takes so much of you personally to be a creative person.
I love that. What's the most surprising thing that's happened since Reflections came out? You were like, I didn't know that would resonate with people, or, that surprises me.
I don't even know. Like, my family was so proud. Like, ones that you wouldn't think that maybe you don't get to spend as much time with were like, oh my God, it's so good. My cousin told me, actually, she messaged me, she goes, first of all, I'm obsessed. And second of all, it is literally like listening to my all-time favorite nostalgic 90s songs.
Yes.
She goes, I have listened to every single song. And it's, my childhood just came right back to me. I was like, well, that was the goal.
Yeah.
But that was really sweet. It was just from a very unexpected person.
Yeah.
The support that came. And it was just really, really, really special.
Yeah.
I really appreciated that more than she knew.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember the day it came out, I got up and went on a walk, and I called Dustin when I started, and I was like, hey, it's the day. It comes out today. And so we both turned it on at the same time.
Yeah.
And so we would, like, call each other between songs. And after like 4 or 5 songs, he called me back, and he was like, God, this is like the best of the 90s. Like, everything that we love about the 90s is what this album is.
Well, it wouldn't have made sense if I would have done a lot of stuff from now, considering it was reflecting.
Yeah.
Yes, it was modern, and that's what the band did. They brought it up to date, but it still had the nostalgia that it had to have.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I love that. Okay. Couple last questions before we wrap up. So right now, you've been running Ken and Friends all year long.
Yeah.
March to end of October.
So we I think our last day for the regular season is like the 25th or 26th.
Okay.
But simultaneously, we will be doing shows and Christmas rehearsals. And then we have like a 4-day stretch of just rehearsals, and we open November 1st.
I can't wait. One of my favorite days of the year. Dollywood opening day, and then the first time I walk into the park and it's Christmas are 2 of my very favorite days of every year in East Tennessee for me. So, and man, your Christmas show is like the best of Kenny and Dolly, and like, it's everything we want it to be.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So for our friends who are listening later, and it's late October as they're listening, y'all are going to be about to flip over.
Yep.
So that's amazing. And then I forget, do you end that show with Oh What a Night? Yeah.
That's our big grand finale.
Yeah. So you put that song out last Christmas. Yes.
That was a rush job, and
Yeah.
people lost their minds over that song. Again, another great song that sat on a shelf for 30 years.
Yeah. It's so
And
powerful.
it's just so good.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. So the verse that I do, and then the big crescendo moment that I do, Jimmy had wrote that song all by himself, and he was like, I just don't love that line. I said, if you change that line, I'm going to kill you.
What line is it?
It's the heavens erupt with thunderous praise and glory. And I was like, you don't understand how profound that feels for me to do. I said, I have to do that line.
Yeah.
And he was like, really? I said, yes, I'm doing that line. And if you give me one more modulation, I might kill you again. Because it goes up and up and up.
Yeah.
But for the song to make sense and be as powerful as it is, it had to have that. And I cannot wait to do it. We were listening through it the other day, kind of freshening up our minds and choreography and stuff. And I was like, cannot wait to do it. What a night.
Wasn't that the one that when Dolly recorded her part, she listened to and she was like, Heidi, that was you?
Yeah, she
When
couldn't
she
believe
listened
it
to
was
your
me.
recording
She
of
was
it.
like, girl, okay, but that note. I was like, let me just tell you, your girl was sick when she hit that note.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, I was sick as a dog. I literally went home and went straight to bed because I had a respiratory infection.
Yeah, well.
I'm like, thank you, Lord, for getting me through this song.
Well, it's stunning. It's beautiful.
I love it. It's so good.
I can't wait to dig that one back up in my Christmas playlist. I know.
Something does.
Okay, last thought.
Yes.
We're in a room full of insanely creative women.
Yeah.
Who write, who speak, who have businesses, ministries, etc. If Granny were standing here, what advice do you think she would give all of us?
Be you and don't let anybody change you, no matter what they try to do or say.
Yeah.
Being you is perfection.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I love that.
And I want some inspiration from y'all. Like,
I know.
Y'all have been doing this for a long time. So give me some words of wisdom. I love to learn from other brilliant people, especially powerful women.
Yes.
So,
well, I'm excited for you to work the room and meet all my friends.
I'm very excited.
This is so fun. Excited. Many of which are podcasters. So raise your hand if you're a podcaster. Yeah. So I've had Heidi on the show a couple of times, and gosh, as you can see, there's just such a well of wisdom. So for any of our friends who might want to have a conversation about songwriting, creativity, reflections, her story. I mean, we've covered like an inch of that tonight, but I'll get you guys connected after Camp for Creatives. I'm sure that you would love that as well.
Oh, absolutely. I'd love it.
So.
I didn't know how much I would love podcasts.
Yeah.
My cousin actually told me about them years ago, probably like in 2015. And I was like, listening to somebody talk just does not sound like my cup of tea. But the key is finding a voice that really resonates with you.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so now I'm slightly obsessed. I don't listen to music on the way home, which is surprising to a lot of people. Podcasts go all the time.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah.
I did not know how much I would love them and how much they would help me personally.
Yeah.
So.
But I love that. You just said, be you.
Yeah.
Do it on purpose. That would have been her advice. And
yeah,
I think
find out who you are and do it on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, actually put the energy into finding out who you are and what makes you special.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, what fun to have you tonight. This is so fun. And so we will air this in October for all of our friends who will listen later. And we're going to hang out here on this awesome porch at the cabin in the Smoky Mountains for all of our friends.
This is amazing.
Yeah, I know.
This is ridiculous.
Right? So for our friends listening who might not know about Camp for Creatives, so I host a retreat every September for fellow creatives, authors, speakers, content creators like all of us. And we're doing this on the opening night of Camp for Creatives 2025, so that's super fun. But Heidi, I am just so grateful for you. Grateful to be your friend.
You too.
Grateful to know you and learn from you. And this has been a joy. So thank you, friend.
Thank you. No, thank
this
you.
is so fun. Woohoo!
Now we need coffee on our little swings.
I hope you loved that conversation with Heidi as much as I did. Go wherever you like to stream music and check out her newest album, Reflections, wherever you like to listen. And also, if you are going to the park anytime soon, between now and November, make sure you go see Heidi Parton's Ken and Friends while you're at the park. And if you come during the Christmas season, make sure to check out her Christmas show that we talked about in the show. Grab a copy of her latest album, Reflections, in the park, and go have her sign it. Go meet her after her show. That would be so fun for her to get to meet some friends in our community. So I hope you love this conversation. We'll be back next week for another incredible conversation as well. And I can't wait to talk to you then.